Hey everybody, it's me, obviously. So it's been a minute since I last made a video, and the reason for that is I was kind of going back and forth with myself about whether or not to make this particular video. And then like 2 weeks ago, I had an encounter where I was like, yeah, this is important. This needs to be done. So here we are, hormones in the new year. This is happening. Um, Obviously, this is more for women, but men, you might have a better idea of what's going on if you continue to watch. So I'll leave that decision with you, obviously. Um, anyways, some of us are on either end of the spectrum with this one. I used to be the kind of girl who would just act like PMS was not happening to me. I would act like my hormones had no impact on my life whatsoever, that the emotional up and downs did not apply to me. I was totally fine going to social engagements when I really wanted to be alone, laughing and smiling when I really wanted to cry, talking to people when I just felt like hitting them in the head. So I was on that side of that. Some people are on the other side of it where period shows up and they go on the shutdown. Like all systems stop, nothing happens, and their hormones in their period kind of like control their life. And the reason I think this is something that needs to be considered or to be talked about is you're going to have at least 1 week in every month, every single year, where your outlook on life is probably going to be a little bit scattered. And so we need to know how to manage those hormones or how to manage our periods so that we don't end up ignoring them, but also so that we don't end up letting them control our lives and our schedules and everything. Your hormones can impact the way that you view your coworkers and ultimately your job, the way that you view your family, the way that you view church, the way that you view government, the way that you view everything. And if you're not careful, then it might have too much of an impact. It might give you a skewed perspective on how your year was. You might have had a good year, but there were these reoccurring moments where things were just bad, or things were just dramatic, or things were scattered and you were feeling this way and then you were feeling this way. And so I think you need to come up with a game plan. Like, okay, when my period shows up, this is what we're gonna do. This is the kind of person I want to be. Let's get it. So there are 3 things that I've kind of learned. So like I said, I used to be on the one end of the spectrum where I ignored my hormones, completely pushed them underneath the rug. And I realized, dude, this is going to show up once a month for the rest of my life. I might as well, not the rest of my life, but I might as well learn how to live with it. I might as well learn how to manage it. Like, if you can't beat them, join them, figure it out. So 3 things that I've learned. First one being, fight the urge to react. Hormones say react. They really, really do. Your hormones say, this is my response, this is the response I want to give right now. Go, 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 go. And it's a reaction. And reaction causes regret, quite frankly. If you react, you might regret it later. Whereas if you take time to respond, gather yourself, relax a little bit, and then give your answer, things might turn out a little bit better. Walking away. Like, sometimes walking away, especially when you're hormonal, is like the best thing that you can do for yourself and whoever it is that you're walking away from, especially someone who says something like completely boneheaded. Like, it's better to not hit them. It's better to walk away. Second thing I've learned is, oh my gosh, don't believe everything that you think when you're on your period. Like, I have had some crazy out of this world thoughts when on my period, and it's just like, oh my gosh. And this is really when journaling comes in hand, because you get all of the crazy out of your head and you're able to get some perspective. Like, so for me, a few weeks ago, I was on my period and things were just like in an uproar, and I thought I had entered into like phase 2 of culture shock, which is characterized by like random crying, social isolation, not wanting to be around other people, feeling at odds with the culture that you're in, and just an overall tension in your body and in yourself. And I was like, oh my God, I'm in phase 2. I don't want to be here. And I'm like journaling and freaking out. And while I was journaling, because journaling is a perspective bringing activity, I got some perspective and I realized, oh, I'm on my period. I know how to handle this. We're good. I know what I have to do here. So it's just important to not believe everything that you think when you're period, and journal as much as you can to get the crazy out. Or what works just as well, having a best friend or someone you can talk to works the same way. Last thing that I have learned in trying to manage my hormones and kind of life with hormones is give yourself permission to be alone. I think women, we put ourselves under this incredible pressure to show up to stuff that we don't want to go to. Or we feel like we're gonna disappoint people, or like I don't even know what it is, like, but we just feel this pressure. Part of it might be because we're dramatic and we like to suffer publicly. But that's not good for anybody. Give yourself permission to be alone, to not go to the party or to the social engagement where you're going to have to talk to a ton of people when you really, 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 really don't want to. You're probably going to be a better person not having gone to the party than going in the more hormonal version of yourself. I think people will just, at the end of the day, everyone will just appreciate it a lot more, and you'll be a better person for it. Giving yourself permission to be alone. I think that women were kind of afraid of doing nothing. And one of my favorite books is called Walking on Water. It's by Madeleine L'Engle. I think I say her last name wrong. But anyways, in it, she talks about giving herself time to just exist. And I was like, dude, what does that even mean? Like, because I'm afraid of like doing nothing. Doing nothing is a waste of time. And she goes on further to say that the only true waste of time is boredom. Yeah, I can see that. I can see how that works. But giving yourself time to just be, to just exist, to breathe, to think, to sing to yourself, to pray, to read, whatever. Just having time to exist, it'll bring your body to a calm. It'll bring your mind to a calm, and you'll be able to manage life with your hormones a little bit better and make better decisions. And I think at the end of the day, giving yourself permission to be alone is just a wiser option. But to close, like, don't let anybody make you feel bad or feel like you're crazy for having hormones or for being on your period or for kind of managing your life a little bit differently so that you can manage your hormones better. Don't let anybody make you feel bad for that. Like, people can be quiet. Besides, the only two kinds of people in this world who get to have an opinion about you, about, when you're on your period, are gynecologists and other women. That is it. If you are not a gynecologist and if you are a man, you are the very last person that I want to hear from when I'm on my period. I also don't want to hear from women in tampon commercials. Like, who are you? Why are you so excited? Why are you running around jumping with your active pad, your active tampon on? Like, oh my gosh, they're not real, so they don't get to have an opinion. That's not real life. Whatever. So, anyways, I hope that was helpful. If it wasn't, probably because you're a man. Shout out to my father for my flowers. Look how beautiful they are. Let me show you. They're so pretty. He got me flowers. I'm all the way out here in Brazil and he got me flowers. Anyways, have an awesome week. Bye.